should have been the same. But for some reason, this year, giraffes have been busy. Nice big boy. What a splendid big fellow he was. Hey, I mean, the light in this morning, the sunrise. Cam, well done for capturing that. The sunrise this morning, and Jackie Darling is commenting on the takeaway for yesterday's sunset was the amazing, oh my word, sunset. It was stunning, wasn't it? Absolutely stunning. And we put together the non-live footage from the night before, and BK's sunset gets put on the show. Just be prepared for a moment of that as well. Yesterday, BK and I just sort of lathered in that afternoon glow, and I'm still feeling it. Still feeling it. It's been quite the weekend, or should I say, it feels like it's been a weekend with this solar eclipse on Monday. Feels a bit of a surreal week that has happened. But what variety of animals allo groom, Sandy Franklin? Most of the small animals do, and then a lot of animals that are pair bonding will allo groom. So many birds will allo groom as a pair bond, as a mating ritual that they go through. Impala do it. Mothers will do it with their youngsters. We see it with lions. We see it with male cheetah, female cheetah with cubs, leopard with their cubs. That's all a way of cleaning and bonding them together. But small mammals, very, very important for them for their behavior and their social bond. So this afternoon, Cam and I are going to go out there and see if we can track down something before James does. Hopefully we can. It's going to be a nice fresh slate for this afternoon. But don't forget, we are going to be live straight after this with the Kids Drive, coming to you live from Juma and Amakala. We thank you for your questions and your comments. We'll see you out there shortly. Thanks for joining.
Afternoon, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name is Eric, joined behind the camera, and this afternoon we are going to be your eyes and ears. Have a look. This is what we've come here for. This is why we were on the move. This is a very, very special animal. Very, very special indeed. And this is what we call an aardwolf. Now we know the aardvark is the first animal in the alphabet, and the aardwolf is a close second. Both of them obviously starting with double A's. Now he's moving away from us. No, don't go. But this is the reason why we're here. We're looking for these very, very creatures, and they're part of the hyena family, which is pretty cool. The characteristics of the hyena family are sloped backs, so their hind legs or their back legs are much shorter. There's another one on the bush next to the... Oh, that's pretty cool. He's just... Oh, he disappeared. He's not interested in being on camera. But, no, so their back legs are much shorter than their front legs. He's coming out. Oh, that's awesome. This is very, very special. We had reports of someone had seen one of them this morning. Ariel, if you... what could they sound like? They sound a bit like a bird chirping / kind of like a screaming, a little yap. It's a very high-pitched noise, but they don't make very much noise. Now this must be a couple or a pair, lovers, lovebirds, whatever you want to call it, and it looks like they're foraging. Now the diet of these animals you would think is something that would be of a meat source, being obviously family of the hyena, but not necessarily. These guys don't scavenge like their cousins. They actually prefer to eat termites, and they'll eat an awful lot of termites. Now, we must not forget that this is live and interactive, and your questions and comments are very, very much valuable to us. Axel, not really. It's the wolf comes from the Afrikaans word. They look like wolves, but they're not wolves. They're more, no. I mean, if we were to compare them, they'd probably be smaller, much, much smaller than a coyote even. But well, we'd very much love for everybody to get in touch and ask as many questions and make some comments. You can do so on our YouTube page. You can get involved in the comment section underneath the live stream. If not, you can go ahead to Twitter using the hashtag WildEarth tag to get involved in the conversation. And you can also get involved on our website. We're also not alone on this drive this afternoon. Obviously, myself and Morgan are down here, but there are some in Djuma. And on Wendy this afternoon, we have Stephen Cameron. And on Rusty, we have James and BK. And then in the office, manning the big screens, we have Nadine, Tadiwa, and Simba. That is everybody working behind the scenes today, allowing us to be able to show you such beautiful scenes. These guys are foraging for all sorts. They'll also eat the odd beetle if they come across one, a caterpillar. Lana, we don't usually actually have sightings longer than this. In my history, in my past, we've normally never managed to be able to have such docile wolf. Normally we see them, they see us, they stare at us for about 5 minutes, and then they run away. Poof, gone. Maybe even less than 5 minutes. They'll look at you, sometimes even less than a minute, 2 minutes if you're lucky, and then they disappear. They're very, very shy, very, very skittish. But because in this part of the reserve there isn't as much traffic, as there is only one lodge on this side of the reserve, therefore it is a little bit quieter. They're not really under pressure for too much, as there aren't many predators on this side. Obviously, the three amigos are this side, and the three amigos, for those who don't know, are a coalition of 3 male cheetahs. The male cheetahs, I don't think, will pose too much of a threat to these aardwolf. However, lions will try and eliminate them. I mean, I suppose the cheetah might. They may feel like they want their territory back. But this is a pair that I believe were seen quite frequently last year. Was it this time last year? Was it? Okay, so not too long ago then. It was... Must have been November.
Yeah, these are the same ones we had with Steve.
Okay. I wonder if the youngsters are around somewhere, as I'm told they were youngsters with them. Possibly. Oh, this is lovely. Termite, these guys will, like I said, they will eat the termite. They will also live inside of the termite mounds. They'll dig a little burrow, and obviously termite mounds do regulate temperature and hold heat quite nicely. Not to mention that they can also provide a decent bit of cover for when the elements are not right. Wow, this is so special. These guys are almost walking around, not pacing, but they are up and down all over the place. And I definitely think they're looking for food. I think every time we see them dip down and we can't really see much movement, or they're not really walking around, and I'd assume that's when they are feeding. Mary J, it is a hyena. It's a type of hyena. You know, they are related to the brown hyena, they're related to the spotty, and they're related to the side stripe. All four of them are families. That is why they also have that distinct hyena feature, that sloped back, short legs, strong front legs. So, I don't know if it was just the light or the angle, but it's got a fairly roundish belly. Quite a full one, this one.
We did have some lions. Cedric's probably going to follow that one.
Oh yes, definitely found something to munch on over there. Oh, it smells nice. Oh, very nice. The head. Bit of digging there. Bit of digging over there, finding some more insects. Probably digging up a termite mound or a very, very small termite mound. You know, obviously they've got to start somewhere. They don't just these big structures don't just appear overnight. You know, they've got to start the size of a golf ball, and then they get the size of a tennis ball, and get a little bit bigger, then a volleyball, then a basketball, and then a gym ball, and then the size of a small car, depending on where you are in Africa, because termite mounds can get to very, very big sizes. But like for these ones, these termite mounds here are fairly smallish. And after the rain, I can't imagine they're going to be very, very strong. Having taken some damage from the water. This one is just very calm. Definitely very hungry, walking around, nose on the floor. That's a definite sign of somebody who's looking for something to nibble on. The other one, obviously taking a little bit of a break, has had a fair share. Geraldine, unfortunately not. The answer is no. Cheetah can't, aardwolf can't run as fast as cheetah. Generally, most animals that know that they're not the fastest generally don't move far away from their dens or far away from safety. Somewhere where they can possibly evade predators. The den site, I don't think, is too far away from here. They can run side to side in the meantime to sort of kind of evade the cheetahs in a sense, but they're not faster than them. I know the cheetah is definitely the fastest land mammal, the fastest mammal actually in general. Sure. It is very windy, and this aardwolf is not worried at all. Now, he's sort of gone off into the distance, but the other one is still lying, I think, next to the bush, somewhere around here. And I'm hoping he comes in. I'm sure he or she will come back. I think it's a he. And the sun is shining, and now that I was talking about the sun, let us send you over to see what Mother Nature has in store for us. Let's look at the weather.
Well,
Well, good afternoon and welcome to this end of the Sunset Safari. Very nice for Eric and his two aardwolf to give us a small look in so that we might greet you this afternoon. My name is Jamez Hendrai. On camera today is BK Bokomoso, the top knot Malinga. He forgot his hat today, and so his top knot is threatening to take over the drive entirely. Good. So we're having a look at a very dramatic sky. See how dramatic it is. So dramatic. And we've been waiting here and wishing, actually, that we were down at Amakala, because I've actually never seen an aardwolf before. I've seen striped hyenas and spotted hyenas and brown hyenas, but never the aardwolf. I don't know why I became German suddenly. Anyway, I'm very jealous of Eric, and I'm very pleased for him that he's had that, because those two guys down there, the dreadlock twins, have had a hell of a time with the weather. So long may the aardwolf be around them. Our plan this afternoon is to head towards the northern side of the reserve, sadly quite near a rubbish dump that is used by the Sabi Sands Nature Reserve, perfectly legally and normally, but apparently the Talamati breakaways, which may now be called the Talamatis and not the Talamati breakaways, very difficult to discern what on earth's going on with the naming, but they might be there. So we're going to go and have a look. And if they're not lying in a too unattractive a spot, we'll spend some time with them. Please talk to us, #WildEarth on Twitter. You can send us questions, comments, insults and suggestions. Indeed, some people have been insulting us quite angrily over the last couple of days. Ah, Caden, you're 8 years old. I forgot, of course, that we're in the middle of our kids' drive. And so, well, yes, I'll try and find your tortoise. I actually saw one earlier today, believe it or not. I was going for a little run, and I saw one under a marula tree. But I'm a long way from that now. So Caden, aged 8, and all the other kids out there, we are going to head off and see if we can't find the lions. Here we go. I'm amazed that you've all seen an aardwolf. I keep forgetting, of course, that the first hour of our drive is kids' drive. Here I am, waffling off about Twitter and such things. And I should be just driving and not waffling. You got a good look there at the Drakensberg Mountains, which is beautiful. And there could be, of course, lots of you kids on Twitter, although, as far as I understand it, the kids don't use Twitter much. I'm not sure. We have an exciting announcement. WildEarth is launching a YouTube membership program. For a nominal monthly fee, members get an ad-free channel, prioritized questions, early access to videos, and many more perks. You'll get fun features like badges and emojis that'll make you stand out in the chat. YouTube memberships will help us to continue with our mission of connecting people with nature while giving you access to lots of our amazing content.
A very interesting thing with the aardwolf, it's rather weird. They're the same like elephants, where you know, elephants have a different amount of toes in the front as they have on their back legs. It's the same with the aardwolf. Aardwolf has 5 toes on its front paws and 4 toes on its back. Makes it look a little bit strange. They do have a fairly odd shaped track. Where did this other one disappear to? He just left the partner behind. I wonder where. Must have found something quite nice, because it has not come back yet.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome on board my vehicle. My name is Steve. I'm joined by Cam on cam. Indeed, you can't make this stuff up. And we're out and about in a nice, refreshing and cool afternoon here in Juma Private Game Reserve. Probably the first time I've done on safari, apart from the other day when it rained, that I wasn't sweating. So definitely autumn is in the air. And what are we going to do this afternoon? We are going to drive very slowly down this road and find whatever comes up. How does that sound? Sounds like a plan. I'm going to check the pans, check some pan systems, check where the water is. There's a little pan system just on the left over here, above the Moati. Let's see what's happening there. One of these days I'm going to find something there and it's going to be epic. Checked it a few times last week and it was quiet, but today is the day. Today is the day. Hello Caden, age 8. You want to know what animals we see more in autumn? Well, autumn into winter, we see a lot of the same animals as we do in the summer months. Our animals here, our herbivore and predator mammals, don't really migrate. The only thing is that our zebra, if we do find them here, they move east, and our elephant normally move east. So we don't normally get as many elephant now as we would in our summer months or in our winter. But lions are around, leopards are around, hyenas are around. They have territories here, and we will get the normal impala, kudu, nyala, those sort of things. And the buffalo also. They could be coming on now because we've had some late rain, but normally the buffalo will be gone for the next few weeks, few months, until it's winter again, and then they decide to come back and feed in Juma, which is regarded as a very nice overwintering grazing ground. Once they've eaten all the delicious grass to the east, we often find the buffalo coming in here. But the grass is looking very delicious and very green right now. Everyone is looking for buffalo. The herds, I mean. We had a couple of boys around lately, but haven't seen a buffalo herd since my interaction with them, with the Juma clan last week. And obviously all the normal birds are around. All our migratory birds have gone. We have the potential for wild dog. Am I missing anything, Cam? Can you think? Hippo, of course, hippo are around. They're not going anywhere. Little pan system over here. Hello, Hannah. That's a very good question. You know, the best thing to do is to have a look at them when they're feeding. Now, I know it sounds quite straightforward, but if they're very big and have a long, tall neck, then you should probably think that they are a browser. If they are quite short or have a much shorter neck, then you invariably think that they are a grazer. But then you do have little shrubs on the ground like this one that they can feed on as well. So it's not always that easy, but habitat preference plays an important role, because we have impala and we have nyala. They are mixed feeders. That means they are both browsers and grazers. So they're able to alternate between what food is best for them at the time. Elephants also mixed feeders. So it's hard to say when you just look at an animal, is it a grazer or a browser? Eland is also mixed feeders, but they do feed more on grass than they do on leaves. But then a kudu is related to both of them, the nyala and the eland, and the kudu is exclusively a browser. I know it gets quite tricky, doesn't it? Okay, well, we were looking at I think a good thing to look at is the width of a mouth. If an animal's got a nice sort of narrow mouth, it means that they're able to be selective. So it's possible that they're very likely a browser or at least a mixed feeder. And if their mouth is quite broad, if you think about a buffalo's mouth, think about a zebra's mouth, a wildebeest, a white rhino, their mouths are very broad. That enables them to mow the lawn. And then the more narrow the mouth, the more selective they could be. So maybe they're a selective or concentrate grazer, or maybe they're a mixed feeder. Hello Marvin, age 9. There's most certainly grass that animals don't like to feed on. Some of it we would try and find for you. I'm trying to look around for it right now. But grasses that are filled with chemicals and filled with cellulose, filled with sort of plant compounds, they are generally avoided. So grasses like our thatching grasses and our turpentine grass and stink grass, those are grasses that are for the most part are left alone and not eaten by the animals. Fire plays a very important role of removing those grasses from the landscape. It's a nice little pan over here, seasonal pan filled by the rain. Let's quickly send you back over to Eric and his art wolf.
We've found this one who's been roaming, and it's clearly this is a hungry art wolf. Found something to munch on there. Another colony of another small colony of termites to raid, potentially. Oh, look at that face. Isn't that a cute looking thing, huh? It does look like a very, very fluffy sheepdog. Very, very entertaining. But I think what I'm enjoying the most is how calm and docile they are around us. You know, it definitely, there's no way it didn't hear us coming up the road and sitting here next to it. It's no more than 20-25 meters away from us. For some species like this, you know, special encounters like this is too close, you know. They prefer to sit at 100 meters or maybe 80 plus meters away from us, just so that they feel comfortable. You know, there's a bit of space in between us and them, where if they think that we're going to do something, they have more than enough time to react and to get out of the area safely. this guy is now disappeared behind the bush and is probably munching on something there. Lana, I imagine it has something to do with regulating the temperature, keeping themselves cool. You know, everybody needs to have their own type of scarf. No, I'm joking. I'm not actually too sure why their tails are fluffy like that. I'd assume it's all part of, like I said, helping keep the animal warm at nighttime. You know, most of the time they're active in the evenings. Where are you? You're now playing just behind. We're playing a game of hide and seek here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Brought himself out. Oh, he's coming right towards us. Oh, look at that. That is stunning. I don't know if you saw that beautiful red tongue. There's a very brief sticking out of that tongue. I think he was just licking something off of his lips. But wow, that is the closest I've ever been to an aardwolf, and this is definitely the longest I've been able to sit with them for sure, by far.
This is On Safari. Serious action. Consider joining our YouTube membership program where you can watch ad-free. Go to YouTube and click join. There we go, that's called hard selling. We're looking at the biggest herd of wildebeest in the Sabi Sands. It consists of 8 animals. We can't see the full extent of the herd on account of the sticks that are in between the members of this vast array, this teeming swathe of mammal life. And just beyond them, 2 members of this great agglomeration of gnu's is George, a big bull wildebeest, and I think a cow who we've named Georgina, who we think George would like to make his girlfriend. But Georgina is less than impressed with George and is currently literally giving him the runaround. Now, I can't move because we'll lose signal, but I do think it's worth sitting here to see if they don't come bucketing back onto the scene. Well, it's quite amusing watching George and Georgina giving each other the runaround. Well, mostly the former giving the latter a runaround. Hello, Milo. You're aged 8 and you want to know if the horns of wildebeest bulls and cows look different. They don't actually, they look almost identical. The best way to tell if you're at a distance from the bulls and from a herd of wildebeest is that the females are just, or the cows are slightly smaller than the bulls, and they're not quite as solidly built. So they're built they're just a bit slighter, they're not as heavy, and they don't have quite the same muscles. But otherwise they look pretty identical. I see that George and Georgina do not appear to be making another performance in front of us. Maybe they have found love behind this area. So it is the mating season for them, and if everything goes according to plan, the cows here will give birth in early December, when in theory the rains will have started. The new rains, not this season's rains. We're now heading into the dry season, as many of you will know. It's amazing to think, really, that nature has planned it so, and I don't mean that it has literally planned it so, but evolution has moulded it so that we've got this massive sort of dry season coming up, and all the while inside the bellies of so many of the antelope species here, the little ones will be waiting for the onset of the next rains. I find that quite amazing to think about. Let's go back to the Eastern Cape, where Eric and Morgan have still got a wonderful member of the hyena day.
Yeah, this aardwolf is all over the place. We've probably moved, I think, 3 or 4 times now, shifting. Still has not paid attention to us, and he's still feeding very vigorously. Got a bit of a fright from something in the bush earlier. Not too sure what it was. But nonetheless, it's still a very, very impressive sighting. Hello, big guy. I must say the ears are very cute. Small, little, fluffy ones. And look at those stripes. Very, very prominent on the side. Now, stripes will definitely help with camouflage and, blending in when it comes to hiding from specific animals, We know that they don't hunt, but just because they don't hunt doesn't mean they can't be hunted. So they've got to turn around as soon as I said it. They've got to be careful, Oh, there's a beautiful, beautiful animal, really. You don't actually always get the time to admire these these beautiful animals when you're in person, and most of the time you see them in pictures or stills. Sure, Cleo. I've seen definitely more than I can count on a Makala, and the previous reserve that I worked at as well. Probably, no, round about, I'd say maybe about 20, just short of 20 or so. That's more or less as many as I've seen. I've seen more aardvark than I've seen brown hyena. And in theory, brown hyena is something that's supposed to be easy to come by on a Makala. I don't know, my luck clearly is never goes my way when the brown hyena are out, or when the aardwolf are out, then I do tend to have a bit of luck. Where did you disappear? Let me try and... Sorry? Oh, he's looking at us funny. While he's feeding. Shame. James says it's unfair that I've been able to see more than what he's seen, but I'm pretty sure there's lots and lots and lots of birds that he's been able to see than I haven't. Oh, they're very, very, very relaxed. Oh no, where are you going now? This Aardwolf is definitely playing with us. Yes, we were parked in probably the area that he's now going to go and stand in front of. And if we move back there, he's going to come back to this termite mound. And then we're going to move, and he's going to move, and then we're going to move again, and then he's going to move, and so on and so on. We could be here all afternoon doing this. Come out. You can just see him hiding in the bushes there. Lana, if they make a den in the termite mound, they will only have bed and breakfast for a certain amount of time, until such time as they've eaten everything inside that termite mound. But I wouldn't say they make their dens inside the termite mounds for the food. I think it just happens. They dig such a deep hole and think, oh well, I mean, I might as well live in here since I've eaten everything else that lives inside here. You know, something that you don't... Are you crossing the road now? Oh, don't get your paws muddy. Oh, please leave us some tracks. I'd like to be able to see your 5 toes in the front and your 4 toes at the back. Look at them walking around the puddle. Careful not to get your paws muddy. This he obviously won't go too far away from the other one. Like I said, they are monogamous. messing around in a puddle there, probably making it a lot bigger than what it needs to be. Milo, they will dig a burrow. If they haven't got a burrow that's dug already, then they will commandeer somebody else's that has obviously left it behind. So most of the time they actually tend to adopt the burrows of aardvark, and they will live in their burrows. Warthog burrows, you know, any hole in the ground that hasn't got an owner, they'll move into. Obviously, they don't want to cause any trouble, so they're not going to fight with any animals to live in the burrow, but they will live underground somewhere. If they can't live underground, they'll find a termite mound that they can crawl up into. If that doesn't work, under a thick old bush, that could work. Quite an active little guy you are this afternoon. You haven't stopped since we've seen you. The other one is lying down at the bottom. Lana, insects actually have an awful lot of protein in them. Protein, vitamins, and all the good stuff. Yeah, they eat a lot of the insects. I think that's how they can get so big. You know what the scary thing is, with all that fur that they have, they can make themselves look 70% bigger than what they actually are. You know? Can you imagine how big this little guy could make himself look now? I mean, he's fairly smallish as it is. I'd say maybe half the size of a border collie. He could make himself the size of a Labrador. Where have you gone? Disappeared.
nice fresh afternoon. So means that we could have certain animals moving already this time of day. Oh, chagras. Come on, Cam, you got it. We got birds. Oh, look at that, the brown crowned. Is it the brown? Oh, it's the black crown, is it? Show us your head properly, please. There's a southern black tit to the right of him and a chagra with an unidentified head so far. It did look a little bit black on the head, didn't it? Now, what are they doing? They're also feeding on insects. Now, most of the birds we find out around here who live in here throughout the year are insect eaters. Most of the birds who come here in the first place feed on insects. And there is a fork-tailed drongo, I think it is. The tail, yeah, look at him. He's got a munch. Look at that. Now, he's also what you'd call a fly catcher. Very good at catching insects on the wing while these other birds are feeding through the canopy, through the branches. Insects fly away. The fork-tailed drongo displaces them and catches the food that flies away.
We've managed to find this beautiful creature again. Very, very active, I must say. Very, very active. Back and forth, but now feeding on a different side of the road. I mean, it was very back and forth when it was, okay, well, for interest's sake, he's now on the eastern side of the road, but when it was on the western side of the road, it was back and forth, and finding all sorts of termite mounds, small mounds to dig up, sometimes digging up beetles, spiders, anything really. I find that them and the bat-eared fox have a very similar diet. Very, very similar. But a bat-eared fox doesn't eat as many termites. I've lost him for a second. And then I found him again. He's all over the place. But it's making the sighting incredible, I think. You know, just watching the animal do exactly what they do naturally without the influence of a human presence. And luckily we haven't really influenced him too much or affected him too much, which is actually quite nice. And that's a very important thing when you're out in the wild. You don't want to you don't want the animal to have to change its behavior or have to adapt itself in the presence of you. You should be the one to have to adapt your behavior, your approach, and the way that you view the animals. You know, you must remember they are not visiting us, we are visiting them in their environment, which means that we have to play by their rules. If you don't want to play by nature's rules, that's when sometimes nature can be rather mean to you. And it all comes down to respect. You respect nature, nature will respect you. So, boys and girls, it has been lovely to have you on show with us. I've enjoyed listening to your questions and your comments, and I encourage you always to ask questions. You need to know more, always. Keep that curious side to you, and well, we will hopefully see and hear from you pretty soon on our next sunset safari. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed being able to share such special sightings with you. Where's the aardwolf? He's gonna come and say goodbye.
This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello again. I don't know how many of you have just joined us because now it's the adult drive and not the kids drive. I suspect that the audience is probably 95% similar to what it was 5 minutes ago. Bokomoso remains on camera. I am going to refrain from referring to his top knot, except I've just done it there. And we've checked up in the northern parts of the reserve for the Talamatis, the 3 of them, or Talamati breakaways, or something else, pride, I'm not sure. I think they're still the Talamatis. It's the Talamatis that have changed, so it's all very confusing. There's a lovely butterfly there, do you see it there? It's just, I don't want to get out the, can you see it? It's a joker. I think it's an African joker. Well spotted. Yes. I think that's what it is. I am really very poor with butterflies. Anyway, we checked up around where the old, where the new Talamati pride is. It's so confusing. The 3 lions, the female and the 2 youngsters, and we didn't have any sign of them. And we asked around, and a woman with a very large ridgeback came out from her home and told us that she hadn't seen the lions there. And so we moved on. Now we've found a butterfly. We're going to search the western boundary and see what else we can find. Yeah, no, I mean, Jane, absolutely, Eric has had a corking afternoon with 2 aardwolf. You want me to find you a leopard now? I'm going to do my level best. Every day is leopard day at Wild Earth. We wish. He's waving at you, BK. You see that? Yep. Beautiful. Right, Dwarf has got a bird. Quickly go and see what it is.
Thanks, James, and hello everybody. Welcome to our vehicle once again. And well, we're trying to do a little bit of birding here, just below Twin Dams. We had a brown-crowned chagger on camera for a moment. They make that very descending call. What have we got? I'm afraid you're just going to have to get a bit closer for me to know. Oh, it sounds like a rattling cysticula. Doesn't look like that one is making the noise. Cysticulas are quite difficult to identify from a distance. Their call gives them away quite nicely. And that's gone. So we're just here looking at the pan system below Twin Dams, where it was dry last week. Our weaver colony, which is all but abandoned. The water is back. Nice work, Cam. This is Linda Poley. You got one. They're not the easiest birds to get on camera. You can see it in the middle frame, in the leadwood. I think it's a leadwood. Small young leadwood tree. Which chagra are you? We saw brown in there just before. Brown crowned. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Okay. Anywhere else we see a bird? Okay, I'm just going to try to frame it. This bush just over this side. Over here. Yeah, right in the middle there. Up a bit. What was that? Throw it up. It's over here. There we go. That looks like a black back, puff back. It's my imitation of the black back. Puffback used to be known as the puffback shrike, everybody. The Afrikaans name is a snoeball because when the male is in breeding, he puffs himself up to this white ball. Looks like a snowball, and it's one of the only French names I know of a bird. I know two. The blackback puffback, which is a snoeball in Afrikaans. It's a boule de neige, which is basically a snowball in French. There we go. Impressing all of you with my French. I did try and learn French when I was in France. I found it a very difficult language, and I found that French people, when you tried to talk with them in French, they weren't very happy. So I didn't really enjoy it. Whereas in Spain and Italy, the Spanish and Italian people loved me trying to speak their language, whereas the French didn't really like me trying very hard. So I stopped. But it is a beautiful language. Okay, well, let's send you over to Eric and see if he's got his aardwolf and ask if he's ever learned to speak French.
Hello everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Eric, joined by Morgan behind the camera. And yes, we are on the move as we had an aardwolf, and we lost him for a little bit. And there he is. And then Morgan managed to find him. Managed to get, there he is. Oh, you thought you lost us? We found you again. This is a very, very active aardwolf, I must say. Okay, paying it. Do apologize if you do see a fence in the background. Today we are on the very, very northwestern part of the reserve. We are in an area where Safari Lodge is located, the only lodge in this part of the reserve. Have a look at that. How cool is this? This is probably the longest we've been able to have an aardwolf on screen, and probably the longest time that I've been able to actively watch an aardwolf like such. So we're going to try and do everything in our power to keep eyes on him. I don't want to lose him again. But he seems to be feeding on and off. Definitely a very hungry aardwolf. Yes, I know indeed. This aardwolf is making up for what Mother Nature has punished us for. She's now spoiling us. So we thank her for that. And we also thank her for the beautiful rain, as our now reserve is very, very green. It's a very photogenic reserve now. You know, got all the makeup on. And now that we're going into winter, we are still in autumn, technically, but yeah, I'm hoping that this green does stick around for majority of the winter. That will make our animals very, very happy.
Quick fish on
In two magical African wilderness areas, the Masai Mara in Kenya, the Great Kruger National Park in South Africa, 5 expert safari guides follow a cast of compelling animal characters and the never-ending stories that define their lives.
The Cat Report documents real stories of real predators, as witnessed and captured by a band of obsessive wildlife filmmakers.
Okay, and that tree on the other side of the drainage there's got a lot of go-away birds moving through it, that very green one. They're probably feeding on the red spike thorn, little flowerets, little florets.
Oh,
This one over here. Little florets that are coming through.
oh, there.
A number of our trees have gone through another round of fruiting. That's why the mouse birds are so busy at the moment. And the go-away birds. Linda, can the go-away birds live in tree cavities? They don't. They create little messy platform nests. They can be cooperative or individual as a monogamous pair. But no, they actually construct a little sticky platform nest. Here you can see the feeding happening. The red spike thorn. These little flower droops.
Aardwolf are playing games with us here. We've now lost it. But originally there were 2. If So we're going to leave the one that was frolicking around up here. We're going to go back down to that one who was actually a little bit more calm. And, well, I mean, they are really calm enough. But she was, well, we think it was a female, was sitting next to a bush, more relaxed than this one, possibly the male, looking for food. And I did say this one was, well, one of them was fairly chubby. I think it was that. It was a fairly one. They are small animals, so you can miss them. You've got to look very, very carefully, and especially at this time of the day, is now starting to not set, but kind of the sun is starting to get closer and closer to them and giving more and more shade, which is a little bit difficult. I will have in a general one. I have more than that. All right.
We have come to the southern parts of Juma now. The Road of Nothing lived up to its name. It delivered entirely on our expectations. We saw nothing on it. Yeah, I'm not sure why we ever drive it, actually. I'm not sure why we put a road through there. Oh. Okay, just move very gingerly towards the right-hand side. And there is an African hawk eagle, which you're going to need to be quick about because it's going to fly. You got him? Here we are. Just pretend you're not looking at him. Beautiful, beautiful shot of an African hawk eagle. That is fantastic. Now the Road of Nothing, Nadine, oh, Nadine is directing today. The Road of Nothing is in the western sector. That is a magnificent bird. And there is a vehicle full of punters coming along the southern boundary, making a noise that I think is going to frighten this bird off. Oh, man. What on earth could be so exciting on that vehicle that they feel the need to shout at each other like that? Do you think it would be rude if I just shouted, "Shut up"? I think I'd probably take a dim view of it. Right, that was glorious. Unexpected. African hawk eagle. Fantastic. No, they don't have any good content, Nadine, because any good content they might have would be running for the hills because of the noise they're making. I suspect they've been at the gin and tonics over lunch, followed by a Sauvignon Blanc with the soup starter, a fat red with the beef to finish. No! No, Kevin, guests are not allowed to be loud on the vehicle. If guests are loud on the vehicle, you will not see any animals. I suppose if guests here are here to wassail, have a party, be on a bachelor weekend or bachelorette, then I suppose it's probably okay for them to be a bit loud, but then they mustn't be around anyone else, because most people come out here not to shout and make noise, but to see animals. You can be loud back at the camp, but in bush one must have some decorum. There is a certain etiquette to going on safari. It's not a complicated etiquette. I mean, it's not like trying to figure out which knife and fork to use if you're at a banquet at Buckingham Palace. The etiquette is simply don't be a nuisance. I don't think so either. Thank you, Nadine. Nadine agrees. She says she doesn't think it's too much to ask. Anyway, I'm very pleased we had that glorious sighting of an African hawk eagle. It was a bit of a highlight, as they say here in South Africa. Lucy, right now I'm also looking forward to seeing some impalas today. We did see some, but they were in very thick bush. And then we didn't see any more. But let's see what else we can find. Maybe there will be impala draped from a tree. That would be nice. Not for the impala. It would be horrible for the impala, but for us it would be nice. Right, we're coming up on a waterhole. I don't know why it is that we focus on waterholes on days when clearly there is no need for animals to come to waterholes. But surprisingly, frequently, we actually do find things at these waterholes, despite the inclement weather or apparently moist conditions. Here we go. Here we go, BK. Are you ready to be amazed and excited and overwhelmed with joy? Dun, 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 dun. Oh! Dewey. Dewey's playing. I don't know if he's playing with a stick. He's certainly playing. Hello, Dew boy. This is your dam of nothing, isn't it? So we've done the road of nothing and now the dam of nothing. BK's dam of nothing, aka Treehouse Dam. Yeah, he says. Well, thank you, taxi lady. You say you love my calling a shovel. I think that many would disagree with you, but I appreciate your sentiments. Dewey is very shy today, apparently. So he is lying in the middle of Treehouse Dam, which I think is probably at an outside maximum 4 feet deep. Oh, action.
Are you a wildlife fanatic, glued to YouTube for your daily dose of animal antics? Then welcome to Africam's wildlife community. By joining our YouTube memberships, you get no ads, just wild live streams, chat with other bush fans, get early access to exciting camera spots, and flex your wildlife knowledge with fun quizzes. Visit Africam's YouTube channel and click the join button now.
Cape Mountain zebra. Obviously, if they are browsers, you'll find them browsing on a couple of the foliage in the area. Well, I wouldn't say they're primarily browsers. You could say they're mixed feeders. They will eat off the trees, and they will eat the grass, mostly the grass. So that would actually make them predominantly grazers, not browsers. As we know, grazers are the ones that eat grass, and browsers are the ones that eat the trees. And there's going to be lots and lots and lots of nice grass coming out for them now that the sun has come out, just to give them that little bit of warmth that will help with a lot of the grasses and the flowers and the plants to grow even more. The grass will be much greener than what it is now. Well, maybe not much greener, but a fair amount greener than what it is, as we've had a decent amount of rain. I think we were told about 65 mils in 3 days.
Well, we have got a special thing for you soon, everybody. We are going to, for the very first time since the year 2019, deliver a replay. And Tadiwa, who's currently putting the replay together in the final control room, is quivering like a leaf as she puts it together. We have a new piece of equipment. She's ready. Okay, I think we're almost ready with it, and we'll show you what Dewey did while you were not with us. No, not yet. No, we're almost ready. The workflow is not flowing, it's sort of stuttering currently. Anyway, we're still here. Dewey the hippopotamus did something not particularly extraordinary, but certainly replay worthy on a day like today, when there's not a great deal going on here at Djuma. Come on, Tadiwa. Get on with it. The viewers are very excited to see what they... I think everybody should start chanting Tadiwa, 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 Tadiwa. Now I'm just getting a stony silence from final control. I suspect Tadiwa's lying on the floor, fanning herself. Okay, here we go, everybody. This is what you missed. Dun, da, da, dun, dun, da. Right, well, I think that can be described as an epic fail. We will attempt to sort that out. If Tadiwa is to blame, we will put her in the stocks and throw tomatoes at her, but I suspect it's not Tadiwa who is to blame. Okay, well, what Dewey did was he stood up and he opened his mouth and went, ah, and then he got back into the water. Good. Well, that was fascinating, wasn't it, BK? You love this dam, don't you? Your very favourite spot on Djuma. It's always just incredible action here. We did get you, we tried, but unfortunately, no. We will work on this workflow. It's always nice to have a replay, you know? Especially if something amazing happens. Yes, they do, Jay. They have such cute ears for such big animals. Cute ears, cute eyes, cute little noses, until they're chasing you and opening their mouths with those enormous daggers to stab you. Then they're not so cute anymore. But one can easily see why they make such great stuffed toys, you know, or little cartoons or whatever. They really do lend themselves to that when they're not trying to kill you. Now I can smell elephants, but I can't see elephants. It's one of those sort of blustery, cooly, misery days when you just know everything is going to be hiding somewhere, except the aardwolf of Amakala, which have come out in great profusion. Well, two. Probably time we started doing a couple more flowers, because quite apart, or quite unlike I said, what's happened is that there is a great blooming of flowers, and I think maybe my timings are a little wrong. Here's the next one that we'll do. There's a nice yellow flower here, whose name I'm pretty sure that I don't know. Let me just open my flowers album. No, I don't think I do know this one. It looks a little bit like Meramia, but I don't think it is Meramia. Okay, let's do this chap. Meramia. I don't think it's Meramia. Maybe it is. Meramia pinnata. I think that is what it is, actually. Let me check on my telephone. Can you see this nicely? Now, can you see it even better? Yes. Yes, you can. The leaves look a bit wrong, but it might be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's Meramia. Meramia pinnata. So I won't need to pick it. And that's quite lucky because inside is a little spider. Can you see it? No, you won't. That is such a stupid question. Of course you can't see it. It's about 0.5 millimeter long. Let me take a picture of it. More photo. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can get this particularly useless phone to take a picture of it. There we go. It's not a spider, it's a fly. It's a little fly. A minuscule fly. Good. Meramia pinnata. Good. Good. Shall now stagger slowly back to the vehicle. PK, this is what I'm going to look like when I'm guiding a game drive at Djuma in the year 2050.
2050.
Let's go over to Stephen, who's got a sunset.
James, you need to do some more stretching. I know you did your sprints today. Important to stretch and remove the lactic acid so that you don't look like an old man when you try to get back on the vehicle. So everybody, we thought we'd just stop in this open area as it's a beautiful opportunity to view the sky. It's quite an ominous looking sky, but the sun will be breaking through those clouds or getting below those clouds at some point as it makes its final movement towards the horizon. It's a little bit early, but we thought, while we're here, we might as well just show you what a beautiful sky looks like, and it's only going to get better. I was just having a look at the weather, and apparently, although I'm not going to believe it until I see it, it's supposed to be raining again on Saturday and Sunday. I hope that's not the case. There's nothing we can do about it, really. It's just very difficult to conduct a game drive in the rain.
Just check for markers at the bottom.
Sorry about my scratchy mic. Such lovely colours, Esther, you're right. Different every day. Different density of the cloud, different species of cloud. Apparently they're called species. Looks like a lot of altostratus at the moment. Not really rain bearing right now, but they form this very thick blanket. They're not very high, but they're quite dense and compacted. I think when the sun gets below them, it's going to be rather sensational. We'll start seeing the rays of the sun coming through there now. A little window to the west. And on girl, I do make an effort to try and be calm, to remain positive. It's very easy, as I was discussing yesterday, to fall into patterns of negative thinking. Very, very easy. And negativity just feeds more negativity. So I try not to go there, but it happens, you know, we are all human. Looking at nature unfold in front of me, the beauty of the colors and the light, I find it difficult to be negative in these moments. Consciously bringing myself to the present breath. Cam, we were sitting patiently watching the sunrise this morning, only how many hours ago?
About 12. Almost 12 hours.
Would be about 12. Yeah, Yeah, 6:06, the sun is rising apparently, and it is setting at 4:45, which is in the next half an hour.
We have an exciting announcement. Wild Earth is launching a YouTube membership program. For a nominal monthly fee, members get an ad-free channel, prioritized questions, early access to videos, and many more perks. You'll get fun features like badges and emojis that'll make you stand out in the chat. YouTube memberships will help us to continue with our mission of connecting people with nature while giving you access to lots of our amazing content.
Since you decided it did not want to be a member of the Wild Earth character suite, and it absconded into the thick bush. And I've been driving very slowly to see if I can't pick up the track of a leopard, because this is close to where we last saw Talamba, and I just don't know where she went. This is our favorite leopardess, in case anybody's wondering. And she's got cubs, we think, for she is lactating. But where she has gone from where we last saw her is anyone's guess. We've checked pretty much all the known den sites here, and we can't even find her tracks around there. BK, I'm now very excited, because I'm going to allow you to shoot an award-winning shot in this amazing light that we are surrounded with of possibly the world's greatest bird on film. Do you know what that bird is?
Oh, I think I know.
Can you guess? You can thank me later, but would you like to cast the lens of this Canon XF605 onto 2 Egyptian geese? What a time to be alive, as Cameron would say. Sure.
This is my best work.
This is your best work. Yeah. It's just gorgeous. Oh. Ah. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Good. I thought we were going to be linked away to something other than this astonishing sighting of 2 Egyptian geese refusing to face us. But in actual fact, for those of you who are new viewers, we're going to pop across and have a look at who Tlalamba, Queen of Djuma, is.
Tlalamba is a leopardess in her prime. She is Queen of Djuma, daughter to Tandi and the late Duke Tingana. Her name means mischievous and playful. For the guides at Djuma, Tlalamba is a tricky customer to keep up with, retaining her playfulness despite her maturity. She is always on the move, much more so than other leopards. Even on the hottest of days, she will frequently move big distances on the hunt or marking her territory. Her life hasn't always been fun and games, however. At almost 7, she has yet to raise any cubs to adulthood. This speaks mostly to bad luck, rather than a lack of skill. Tlalamba is enigmatic, energetic, and extremely confiding. We watch her life unfolding with laughter, tears, and always appreciation.
But she's loving it. You can see she's even like cleaning her paw. Oh, eating the whole side of the head, so the cheek, the eye. It looks very much like a horror scene.
They sort of zip them up. Those little things called barbacells and barbacules.
Snake there.
Have you got a snake? Oh, apparently he's got a snake, and that's what he's hopping around at. Let me check with my binoculars. Oh yeah, it's look like a little red-lipped herald. That's what he's hopping at. Thanks, G. I did not see that. Have you? Oh, you see the snake striking at him. How cool is that? Oh, you? I wonder what he was hopping for. I didn't pick it up on the camera, but I can see it with my binos. You close? Do the standoff.
Sorry about that. Not sure what happened to the Wolf or why he disappeared, but I hoped you liked that little highlights session of Tlalamba. While we look at this extraordinarily wonderful grouping of 2 Egyptian geese and also the mighty rarity that is the blacksmith lapwing, I would like to share a few comments shared by a number of you who agree that noisy people on drive difficult to deal with. So Picky says, Picky, where are you? Here we are. You say you have yelled a few times in the Kruger for people to shut it, as it can interfere with animal sightings. Yes. Deb, you say nothing worse than a guest that keeps talking and asking ridiculous questions over and over on drive. Siv in Norway, I have a problem photographing birds. People arrive at Hyde laughing and talking loudly. Shut up when they arrive, but many don't give a ... Giraffe Girl, absolutely sit and watch. Stop the chit-chat. Drives me crazy at times. Was with a group that insisted on singing on drives. Definitely no good. Terrible etiquette. Thanks, everybody. And just quickly, for those of you who don't know, Picky is just sharing the names. The Talamati breakaways are now the Talamati Pride, and the old Talamatis in the south are now the Msutu Pride. So, I don't know who named them. I didn't care who named them, but I'm very happy to go with that. Talamati and Msutu. This is a very green scene. That's all I have to say about it further, and we're now going to carry on. There is an alarm calling, a long-billed crombeck up ahead, and a nyala. Yes, Hannah, some groundbreaking Egyptian geese, really. I don't know if we can possibly go up from here. Although we now have a nyala, and the BK is quivering like a leaf. So excited is he at the prospect of filming this animal which is moving at such speed towards us. The big thing, BK, here is that you must not be nervous. Just take a deep breath. You'll get through it. Beautiful. I was just giving you a little listen there, but unfortunately the long-billed crombeck stopped calling. This is On Safari.
Little zebra is feeding on a little clump of grassy grass over there. I don't know how tasty that grass is going to be, covered in all that mud. Oh, Darcy Miller, it is lovely just to have the sun out in general. But yes, it is beautiful on the skin of those beautiful, beautiful zebra. And even though the sun is out and it's shining, we've definitely felt a drop in the temperature. You know, I think we're starting to maybe get to the end of autumn and the beginning of winter, because it is chilly. Very, very chilly. Zebra starting to move off from our pan. I wonder where our elephant has disappeared to. He was at the back there feeding, and we saw him maybe about, when was the herd last here? I think it was about 4 days ago. More. I think almost a week ago. Possible. But I think he's been up here the whole time. Beautiful animals, those. And the light is amazing. We're getting into the golden hour, and we have not had the golden hour in quite some time. And naturally, we are very excited for this. Look at those stripes. Absolutely beautiful. Little swish-tish of the tail to swat away any unwanted flies and parasites sitting on the animal. And naturally, this is a movement that is non-voluntary. They don't have to think about swatting the flies. It's a reaction. It just happens. As soon as something lands on the skin will either shake or vibrate to get it off. If that doesn't work, well, then you've got a tail that's coming to swat at you. I do feel sorry for some of the zebra stallions who lose their tails in fighting, as they lose the ability to swat away any flies. All right. Let us move it along here. See what else we can find. Huh? Oh, sorry, ladies. You guys are blocking my path here. Excuse me. Oh, wait for it. Someone's got to have to say it. It is the zebra crossing. And there he goes. But look at that golden glow there. Excuse me again, sorry.
Yay, we've got signal. Thanks, Eric. Well, you often hear us talk about flat cats, and right now we've got a flat pachyderm. Oh, hello. Oh, up you get. We just come towards Chitwa and Gari Main. We had a report of some elephants over here. And, well, this one is right in the road. He's showing us how to do the Michael Jackson walk. Did you see that? Almost, the moon walk. Yeah. I'll show you how it's done. There we go. He's trying to pick up some dirt. Trying to find the right sort of soil type or the right depth of soil to scratch and then pick it up and then throw it onto its face. Oh, let me go down on my haunches again, because this is marvelous being a young elephant. Oh, what a treat. It's been a long day for you, little one. Can you see the eyes, everybody? When I talk about when an elephant's very alert, you can see the whites of the eyes. There we go. You know, the other one's going to try to keep it down. Once it's down, it's down. Oh, push him over. Darcy Miller, how special is that? And now, as you've seen, we've spent time with the youngsters. They've been out in the open. They've been very playful. And here's Mum. She looks quite pregnant. And her eyes are pretty closed. And she's not reacting in any way. So within that comfort zone, everybody. We're within that zone of complete relaxation. Animals are all going about their business. That is where you want to be with wildlife, in the comfort zone, where they're doing their normal behavior, feeding, playing, drinking, whatever it might be, even if it's sleeping. Objective is not to go into the alert warning zone, although sometimes you find yourself in the alert zone. You can stop, allow everybody to calm down, and then they realize that you're not there to cause any harm, and they go about their normal business. Agatha, what a sweet baby, you say? Yes. Well, if we're lucky, we're going to get this herd walking past us. You can see it's going to happen, can't you? These two mamas. Very relaxed. So, because we stopped outside of their comfort zone, where everything is perfectly relaxed, and they come towards us, there's no doubt that they know that we're here. So in this situation, if the elephants weren't happy with us, from a distance you would have known about it, and they probably would have moved off or gone all the way around us if they wanted to get past in this direction. But now what we're going to see is that they are deliberately choosing to walk closer to us, and so in this situation, you don't have to do anything. Some people in a moment like this, you can see this one, this younger female is a lot more vigilant. She's a bit more alert. There she did the leg thing. She's making a decision. And she's having a poo. But if they start coming towards you, there's no need to start your engine and start revving the engine to get out of the situation. They're not showing any negative behavior. They're not showing that they want to be pushy. They're not showing that they're irritated with you at all. The babies are in the open, playing, kicking up dust. If this herd was not relaxed, you would not see the youngsters behaving like this. They would all be very well hidden in amongst the herd, and they wouldn't be behaving in a playful way. Tell me more you love it when they hit the floor and they don't want to get up. Yes, he's trying. You know, it's quite a hard bit of road there, young man, that you're trying to dig up the dirt, but you'll get it eventually. It takes practice and skill, but I've seen Mum do it many times. Oh, but I can blow bubbles in the dust. Okay, well, we're not going anywhere, everybody. We're going to send you back over to Eric.
So we're sitting here with our three amigos. Have a look-see. It has been a good while since we've last seen them. And it does look like they've got something in their sights. There's lots of animals around here. There's red hartebeest, there's zebra, there's eland, there's warthogs, and one elephant. So they may have a bit of difficulty if they want to go after the elephant. I mean, they're fairly equipped cats, but not for that type of hunting. They may fancy something like a red hartebeest or maybe a zebra. But the eland are looking this way. It's possible they may have been spotted. They're hugging a bush. You see how closely they are now walking behind each other, almost single file. I will apologize. There are lots of vehicles in this area, as we are not the only ones in the sighting who want to see these animals. Obviously, this is well, no one's, I don't know when last the other guys had seen the three amigos, but it's been a while since we had seen them. And I think in the last bit of rains, it's been a bit tough and a bit difficult because of, obviously, where the three amigos like to go is generally an area that's very, very muddy, very difficult. Oh, there's movement. There's someone's running. This is very interesting. There's going to be a lot of movement now. There's going to be animals scattered all over the place. I can see the one. Look, oh, there we go. We've got cheetah and zebra in one picture there. And those zebra are oblivious. They have no idea what is going on. You ever get that feeling? You're being watched. This is that feeling now. Those zebras are being, oh, red hartebeest lifts his head very quickly. Still unfazed. Still a little bit of movement by the cheetahs. Steve D, I hope that you're enjoying this sunset safari as much as I am. We are having an absolute blast here. And yeah, some very exciting content to come, I think. They're moving closer and closer. And you see, when they approach prey, when they approach animals like this, if they're not split up and spread out, what they will do is they'll try and follow each other in single file and stay in a little ball, you know, so they only look like one. Same way that wild dogs would also do their hunts, and then when it's time to pursue after whatever prey or whatever target it is, it's a quick split up, and they'll try and flank their prey. Two will go on either side of it, if possible, and then one will try and get onto the hips, try and throw the animal off balance. If not, they'll try and trip them up. That's generally a textbook from a cheetah. They'd rather trip animals up, especially if they're bigger animals. Trip them up and then land on top of them. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's dog mode. The bent legs. Moving very slow. Oh, you going for eland? Okay, you brave, amigo. Agatha. Oh, my favorite characters. The three amigos. I love these cats. They are amazing, amazing boys. They've chosen to conduct their hunt in a rather tricky area. How selfish of them. I'm joking. It's a rather tricky area and lots of thicket. Not very many roads, obviously, going through this thicket area, but going around it. But we're also at a spot that if we do see movement, we'll be able to see it. If they chase them up the slope, we'll see them chasing them up the slope. If they chase them to the right, then we will see them chasing them to the right. I think the only place we won't see them chasing them is if they chase them straight. So towards where the camera's facing, really, in front of us.
Experience captivating wildlife documentaries showcasing incredible animal behavior for free by visiting lionmountain.tv or downloading the app, accessible on both Apple and Android platforms.
Let us go around. Let's go see what's going on around the corner there. Maybe we can get eyes on somebody. I haven't heard any more movement with the other guides in the area, so I'm assuming they might actually have them there. Morgan's just gonna change the ND filters, change colors. Okay, so what we have, it looked like a baby eland that was limping, and those three amigos have gone after it. But mom sound, ooh! Something made. They were very, very close to hunt. Alright, let us go and see what has happened. I don't know if you heard that deep bark from an eland. It's quite a scary sound. That it's not a sound you want to hear. The depths of the night. If you don't know what it was, but no, definitely something could have gone down there. A lot of juvenile eland they were going after there. And obviously juveniles are not as fast as the adults, but adults are they're not as fast as other antelope, you know. Being the largest antelope in southern Africa, that does naturally make you one of the slowest antelopes in southern Africa, unfortunately. Anticipation. That was quite exciting. Tell me more, it would definitely be interesting to see if they did pull this off. I can see two of them there. They did it. They managed to catch the baby eland. Well done, gentlemen. Have a look. So I will give a disclaimer that they will be blood. This is a carcass, so anybody who doesn't enjoy seeing any of that, I would advise you to maybe look away at this point in time. As I said, yes, this is a carcass. They did manage to catch an eland. You can see them having, one of the brothers is there. He's trying to finish off the job. The other two are having a look around, scanning the area to, to make sure that there obviously aren't any predators here that are going to come and steal this prey from them. We will remind you again that this is obviously a meal for them, and this is a carcass. So if there are any viewers at the moment that do not like to see dead animals or carcasses, I would advise you to look away now, as this is a kill. I will also remind you that there are other vehicles in this area, so you will hear others talking amongst us, as this is the heart of the excitement. So this is very, very good for them. This is most likely going to last them for this evening, tomorrow morning, maybe a little bit of tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to do them for very, very long. Forest monarch, indeed they have matured beautifully, but they've also become much more successful hunters than what they were when they first arrived at Amakhala. They actually took a very, very long time to get an animal down. I think it was something just short of a week and a half. It was very scary for the ecologists, because obviously having put these cats on the reserve, they thought they'd be able to kill immediately, but they obviously had to just get used to their surroundings and get used to the type of animal that we have here. So it's not always a quick process trying to suffocate an animal. And indeed, amigos, follow the wind. Amigos, please don't pull it further. No, stay there, stay. Oh, come on. They definitely trying to pull it away, and behind a bush now, but not quite behind the bush, but definitely somewhat covered. We were able to get really, really close to those eland without them actually knowing. And when they gave chase, the one was probably 10 meters away from an eland, from the adult eland, which the juveniles would be actually behind. So yeah, they were very, very close.
We did have some lions. Cedric's probably going to follow that one.
Oh, look at you and your red lips. See how they just have a quick look around. Very, very good. I think for the time being, gentlemen, you should be fine. I don't think there are any other predators in this area. I mean, there may be jackals and brown hyena that may come and investigate, but because there's 3 of them, if there's only one brown hyena, it's possible that they can actually stand against it and chase it away, preventing it from coming and mobbing them of their meal. You've got blood all over your face now from doing that.
Eric may have had aardwolf, he may have had cheetahs killing, but we have got the back end of an elephant disappearing into the bush. Look at that, BK. We have... we've hit on a new name for the Dreadlock twins. Many of you will remember the singing duo Milli Vanilli, and we thought Milli Vanilli for the two of them would work quite nicely. Milli Vanilli has had an extraordinary afternoon. They have made a comeback second. Very pleased for them and for you that Amakhala has delivered such magic this afternoon. They deserve to deliver magic. It's a beautiful part of the world, underrated, and today it really showed why it is so fancied. We'll just get into a position where we can look at these elephants. There we go. There you are, BK. Another award winner. So thank you, James. And thank you, Milli Vanilli, for holding the drive today. I'm not sure they'll be impressed with that. Anyway, they've done an unbelievable job today. Little breeding herd. In fact, there are probably two herds here. One of them's gone off south. These guys came in here. It's so peaceful to sit around them at this time of the night as dusk fades. I must say, I find the sound of them grazing and moving through the grass at this time of the day just very comforting. It's probably at this point that we should spare a thought for the poor little eland. He's probably going to grow up to be a fireman or something like that, and is now not. I don't mean to be macabre. I just always find it slightly sad, as I'm sure many of you do. Thank you, Dina. You think that Milli Vanilli is the perfect name for the Amakhala boys? You know, they've remained so cheerful and stoic over the last week or so when they've been nearly blasted off the reserve by the weather. So they really thoroughly deserve this afternoon. In the background, the robins calling their last. You can hear BK sighing. What that sigh meant was, can you please move forward because I can no longer see the elephants. Yes, I can, and I shall. There you are. There's a little elephant for you to film. I'd say roughly a 3-year-old. Yeah, I agree, Kendra. I mean, I'm not watching them in IR, I'm watching them in colour, but you're watching them in infrared. And you say they look extra special in infrared. Yeah, I agree. I think this is mum and 2 offspring. One of those slightly strange arrangements that we've seen a lot of, where it's a single mother and her 2 children. This time I preempted BK's loud sigh. Alright, it's getting dark here. I've no doubt it will get dark soon in the Eastern Cape. So let's go and find out what Milli Vanilli are going to do with the rest of their time.
Right, we're going to give you another disclaimer. For those who do not enjoy seeing carcasses, animals eating carcasses, or just dead animals and blood, I would advise that you look away now, as our 3 amigos are on a kill here, and they are consuming their dinner for the evening. It is starting to get a little bit dark, and when it does get too dark to actually see them, then the sighting will close, because you are not allowed to, well, we are not allowed to view cheetahs at night time, because you need a light to view them, obviously, otherwise you're not going to see them, and that light is incredibly bad for their eyes. So the reserve has issued a rule that as soon as it starts getting too dark, that you start needing lights to see them. That's when you close this area. So you probably have another 20 minutes with them before we need to make way. But I think we're going to leave them pretty soon to their own devices, as obviously this is a very busy sighting. There's going to be lots of people wanting to get in here, and we obviously don't want to be in too much of the way. Della, indeed, yes, the amigos, they went to their local deli and they picked out their finest cut of venison. It's a fairly youngish cut, nice and tender, and they're indulging. This is, like I said, it's not enough for them. Well, it's not enough to last them very long. Probably do them till tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow, the evening of tomorrow evening, and then maybe the next morning. I think they may want to try and catch something else. But we've been incredibly lucky this afternoon, I think, with the animals that we've found. Very cool indeed. Not really. You know, we call them the 3 amigos and 3 brothers. The 2 of them are biological brothers, and one of them is not a biological brother, but they treat him as the brother. I think that's I have to see the other one. But you'll find that the 2 biological brothers, they'll follow each other around majority of the time, and then the adopted brother will join. Okay, the adopted brother's the one at the back, so on the far left-hand side. He's now in the middle. You'll find that the adopted brother will stick around and then he'll eventually follow. But they don't really have a hierarchy in this this little group that they have, the coalition, as we will. They work together, they act together, they take charge together. They pretty much equals, you know. All three of them are kings. We've seen a third boy come into the picture, and now he's done looking around. He's hungry now. And they got to eat quickly now, because obviously the smell of blood is going to spread. Oh, what? Everyone's up now. What's going on? Have you heard something that I haven't heard? They're hearing mouse birds. I'm also hearing mouse birds. But they were looking in a direction as if something was coming. There are brown hyena in this area. I think we've seen a big hole not very far away from here. You know, I think they actually walked past it when we first saw them in the sighting, and I think that was or is a brown hyena burrow, but not too sure. I mean, it's definitely not a warthog hole. It's too big to be a warthog hole. You know, brown hyena, but definitely bigger than warthogs. Imagine. It'd be quite cool to see a brown hyena now. Imagine a brown hyena comes and tries to mob these boys. I think that would be too much excitement for today. They're very wary. Very, very wary. And it's because of those mouse birds. Those mouse birds have seen something. That none of us have seen. It's quite interesting to see what could possibly happen. Morgan's just going to switch to IR. And now going old school black and white.
We've got a refreshing splash of entertainment this March. Africam is surfacing with a new show. Join us every morning and submerge yourself in nature's ambience. Watch it live and transport yourself to the finest watering holes across Africa. Wild Earth, connecting with nature.
Well, welcome back live to Droom, everybody. Well, how exciting, Amakala. How exciting. Definitely stolen the show this afternoon. Spare a thought for the eland, but the circle of life, everyone. We all love cheetah, and everybody wants to see cheetah surviving, and it's not always pretty to see how. It is the way it goes. So we left our elephants. We spent some wonderful time with them, but we understand cheetah hunting we don't see all the time. So myself and Cam just breathed in the elephant energy. We were surrounded by that herd for some time. Very relaxed, very peaceful, and I'm feeling nice and full now. Having not seen elephants in a few days, I have missed them. I didn't get who the question that was. I have seen cheetahs hunting here on quarantine. It was quite something to see. I didn't catch it, but I've seen cheetah moving through the area, but they're not very common here. But we did have a female with 2 sub-adults on our open area close to camp for about 4 days. I'm trying to remember if I saw them hunt anything. I don't think they did. The impala were very scarce those days. But I have seen cheetah hunting before, and it is unreal. Very difficult to capture on camera, everybody. Very difficult. Spent a lot of time in the Mara with cheetah and saw them take a few Thompson's gazelle. Also saw them miss a lot. Nice evening. I think that might be a nightjar on the road. Lillian, you'd like a last minute hyena. Why didn't you say so? Come in right up. Might just get a bottom of one walking away from us. Last minute hyena would be nice. So we jumped onto YouTube and we watched that whole thing unfold with Eric. It's nice when you find ourselves in a good signal spot to be able to do that. And he handled it really well. The disclaimer and all of that. I think sometimes as guides we can get a bit excited and we forget, that there's sensitivity behind these sightings. So it needs to be handled like that. And Eric did an exemplary job of making sure that you were all aware of what you're about to see. Even though at the beginning of the show there is a disclaimer about what might happen, we sometimes forget in the moment that we're about to see death and something that might not be very pleasant to watch. And thankfully, cheetah kills are normally quite tame, not like wild dog or hyena kills or lion kills. They can be very difficult to watch. Really, really gets in underneath the skin. We're coming up to Chelapan now. I remember a few years ago seeing the Talamati Pride pull down a warthog just over here, and that was, wow, that was something to behold. Little stumpy tail, but fought off Darkmane when he was trying to steal her piece of the pig. She's like, that's my pig. Amazing to see how fast he moved when he saw the bacon running. He knew he was going to get a meal. And he most certainly did. Well, Darkmane almost moved as fast as a scrub hare in his early days, but not quite as fast.
Well, here we have got a scrub hare, or bunny, or buny. I don't think buny is actually an acceptable way of saying it. And as we saw this beauty, BK said, come on, Kalamba, come and waste this beauty. She hasn't so far pitched up to waste this beauty. It could also be called a hasi if you're Afrikaans, or unogwaja. What else? BK? Tswana? Muntla. A-L. There we go. Say it once more. Mutla. Muntla. There we go. Now we're getting the Shona version via Nadine from Tadiwa. It's not translating well. It sounds like Japanese, but I don't think it is. Shula. Shudala. T-S-H-U-R-O. Churro. There we go. Churro. In Shona. Thank you for that, Tadiwa. In Shangaan, it's, I've forgotten it in Shangaan. It is, yeah. Futla. Mfutla. Something, yeah. Or Futla. No, Mfutla. I think that's right. Mfutla. Thank you for that, BK. So we've had Shangaan, Tswana, Zulu, Shona, Afrikaans, and a number of English options.
Out in the wild, life moves fast. To capture the action, you've got to be in the right spot at the wrong time. Now, incredible animal behavior, selected from amazing amateur and professional footage, to reveal the secret lives of animals in motion. This is raw nature, caught in the act.
Wild Earth, connecting with nature.
Let us move on, BK. I have run out of things to say about this bunny. Nobody else has come forward with any interesting names for a bunny. What is a bunny in French? Le pain, is it? I think I just got that in my head. Le pain. Ah, bonsoir, Le pain. How are you? Are you going to end up in a stew? Le pain. Bonsoir. Je suis un poisson. Yes. It's L-A, it's feminine. Lapin. La P-I-N-E. How do you say that? Lapine. No, lapine. Wouldn't that be lapine? Lapine? I don't know, somebody French will tell us. Yeah. Oh. Right, lapin. It is lapin. Ah, bonsoir Impala. Let me turn off my lights so you are not blinded. Welcome back to those of you who've just rejoined us. We were going to close the drive with Amakhala. We might still, but unfortunately their signal has become unstable. We were just looking at our scrub hare. We were trying to get a few more names for it in different languages. We've got the French. If somebody would like to hand us the German, we'll do our best at that. And the Japanese for scrub hare, along with pronunciation, please. I don't know why. I want to hear the Japanese for scrub hare or rabbit. Tadiwa has found it in Spanish. Just spell it for me and I'll have a go. We'll get the rabbit in Spanish. P-O... No, you're going to have to spell that again. P-O-N-E-J-I-O-T-O. Ponejito. Ponejito. That definitely can't be right. C-O-N. T-J-I-T-O. C-O-N-T-J-I-T-O. Cerveza. Sonejito. 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 Ah, how are you? I want the sonejito pie. How are you? It's a nice day. In German, it's a Haas, I think. Hasi. So this is a Hasi. So it is rabbit. Hasi. My only reference for a Spanish accent is Manuel from Fawlty Towers. So when there's a Nyala. When I want to do a Spanish accent, I reference Manuel in my head. Oh, this is not a good situation for this Nyala. And there's a Nyala there, but there's some eyes shining out of the darkness there. There. No, it's an antelope. Never mind. Let's go back to this Nyala. He's limping very badly. Oh, have you got him? Straight in front of us. There he goes. Ooh, I think he's heading for camp. Is that Bob? Is it Bob? Oh, it is Bob. Yeah, it's Bob. I thought Bob was dead. Bob, I thought, had been murdered by the lions when the Nkuhumas came and they killed something. This was about 6 weeks ago. 8 weeks ago, actually. No, Bob's alive. Good on you, Bob. And you've braved the wilds outside of our camp, which I think is very brave of you indeed. Well done, Bob. Bob. Well done, Bob. Have you still got him?
I still got him.
You've got him. I can't see him. It's too dark. Bob. Good job, Bob. He's run into camp. Shall we carry on?
Yeah, we can carry on.
Yeah, you can see his eye. But let's carry on. We'll drive slowly down the road here. Tanner, it was my pleasure. It's all I could do for you. While Eric and Morgan were doing the real job of finding animals and entertaining you, all I could offer was my poor comedy, including, what was it? Sonejito. It's a rabbit. How are you? It's a nice day. I speak English. I learned it from a book. Sonejito, rabbit. How are you? It's a nice day. Bob is going into camp. I've just watched him go down the road. Right, well, it's time to say good night now. Good night to all of you. Wherever you happen to be in the world, maybe you are in Spain. It would be nice to hear from you, Sonejito. We are going to turn we're going to turn into camp now and go and consume a delicious supper. We'll see you tomorrow at 0600. Until then, I hope you stay safe and happy wherever you happen to be on our beautiful blue planet. Good night.
From the Masai Mara in Kenya and the Greater Kruger National Park in South Africa, 5 expert safari guides that live and work in the bush 365 days a year. Follow a